these things. But I think there is something inherently aesthetic and art-like about these records. They really are a pleasure to hold, and I don't think it's just my age. But it's a very good record, that, the Couriers of Jazz. Very, very good. And so I've got that copy, which is a first pressing. And then I've got, let's see, and then I've got, oh yes, I've got two one-sided test pressings of the same record. Or, yeah, test pressings. Which is just, it's just nice to have them. And I like everything about records. I like the ritual, the handling. I get as much pleasure as looking at them as I do from listening to them. Having said that, I don't like this idea of, you know, there are people who, they insist that the records have to be in near mint condition. You know, they buy rare, valuable records and they don't play them. And, you know, I think that's the worst thing you could do. There's nothing as wrong, if you like, as a classic record that isn't being played. And, you know, there are people who collect records like that. I've met people, and they will only buy mega rare albums. And so they end up with record collections that they think are wonderful, but actually they're dreadful record collections because they have no, you know, a record collection should reflect the person who owned it. But if you're just buying rare records, you end up with a characterless collection. But that's neither here nor there. So that's the Jazz Couriers. And let's see, what have I got here? And this here now is Tony Kinsey. And again, I love these records. Just the covers, the handling of them. I've got two of these now. Now, I'm not a mega fan of Tony Kinsey. This is quite a good record, but I think Tony Kinsey spoils it a bit. He's too prominent in it. But again, just love the covers, love the feel. You know, the laminate and all of that. Tony Kinsey. And sometimes I buy these albums, and say I've got two of these, both in good condition. Didn't need a second one, but I just like I like buying them. So I'll often buy a record that I already have, just for the pleasure of waiting for it to arrive and then taking it out of its packaging and then handling it and then putting it on to play it, to check that it is all right, and then putting it in with all my other records. I just love it. And now this is quite knackered. Time, gentlemen, please, Tony Kinsey. This is really in bits. And I picked this up years ago, literally in the street. It was at a street market, and it was literally lying in the gutter with a load of junk. So I got it for 50p. And it's in very poor condition, but amazingly, it plays better than a brand new record that you'd buy sealed. Some of these old records, I mean, they could stand up to the most amazing punishment. And here's, and I think this now, Ronnie Scott, I think this would be from maybe 1953, maybe 54. And this isn't, it's not made of vinyl. It's like a mixture of vinyl and shellac. It's quite a brittle record. It bends like vinyl, but I would imagine if you really were to bend it, it would just snap. And this would have been played, whoever bought this, almost certainly they would have been playing 78 RPM records. And they would have had a record player designed to play 78s with a really, really, really heavy arm. And hence this is very worn. It's not damaged, such, there's no scratches or anything. It's just heavy wear, very heavy wear. But I think that gives it character. I don't like when they remaster sort of old albums like this and they, you know, they just don't sound the same as the originals. So that's really, did I mention? Yeah, I made another video on tempo, on my little tempo collection. If you check my channel, you'll see that. But time, gentlemen, please. But yeah, I just love handling these. Oh, here. So I'm going through my jazz collection, just looking Wynton Kelly, or Wynton Kelly. But yes, the old covers, wonderful. So that's all. As I say, I've got another video on tempo. If you want to have a look at that,